Hey guys, what's happening? This is Forgo Nation, and today we're going to do something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and that's compare Scarlet Witch and Psylock's DPS. Who has more overall DPS between these two characters? Who's stronger? And you see the teams that we got going with here. Now, Absorbing Man, he's just there just because he doesn't offer any kind of leadership that's going to help them. No attack buff, no nothing like that. Nick Fury, we're using him because we don't really care about the 55% damage dealt to supervillains, although, I mean, it gives you extra damage, but that's, he's going to be on the same for Psylock and Scarlet, so he's offering the same bonus for both of them. But really, I just want him for that super armor, and the reason I want him for super armor is, if we was to do this, Psylock without that super armor, Psylock would be at a huge disadvantage because she doesn't have invincibility. She just has immunity to guard break, or immunity to all damage, which can be guard broken, guys. She doesn't get super armor. So in the world bosses that we're going to be facing today and doing our DPS comparison, Cull and Thanos, they guard break the hell out of her, and it really causes her to lose a lot of damage. And we just want to see who can do more DPS. That's all I want to see. Who's got the stronger amount of power. So having that super armor is going to level out the playing field. Another thing that's going to level out the playing field is neither one of these characters have an obelisk. Neither one of them have an obelisk. If you take the proc out of the way or take a rage out of the way, you're taking away any extra element of RNG that's involved in here. So you can actually see their true DPS, what they're actually capable of. Well, not really capable of, but what they actually can do without any extra RNG involved. So, let's run through the builds, and you guys can see their builds are extremely similar. Scarlet has 31,500 energy attack, and Psylock has 31,368 attack. So there's only about 200 energy attack difference between these two. Now what I'm going to do is, because Scarlet has 45% increase energy attack to her leadership, I'm going to do a run with her leadership, and I'm going to do a run without her leadership. Without her leadership, she has pretty much the same amount of energy attack as Psylock, as you guys just seen. But if you move Scarlet into the leadership role, now she has almost 38,000 energy attack. So quite a bit more energy attack than Psylock. And the reason I'm going to do that, guys, is because that's fair. That is fair. This is a part of Scarlet's kit. Having this leadership is a part of her kit. So when you're doing a comparison, especially DPS comparisons, it's good to compare them natively what they're capable of doing. But just for all the people out there, just to see when they're both have the same amount of energy attack, who can do more, you'll also get to see that as well. So it's going to be two runs with Scarlet, one run with Psylock against Cull, and 2 runs of Scarlet and 1 run of Psylock against Thanos. I don't need to give Psylock a 45% energy attack boost because their energy attack would still be about the same. So the outcome is going to be the same whether, between the Psylock comparison without a leadership and Scarlet without a leadership, as it would be with Psylock having a leadership and Scarlet using her leadership. Now, as far as the details, as you guys can see, Scarlet has 127 attack speed, 37 crit rate, and 161 critical damage, max ignore defense, and max skill cooldown. So remember, Scarlet's got 161 critical damage and 37 crit rate. Now let's take a look at Psylock. Now Psylock has, look at this guys, 37 crit rate, and she has 162 critical damage. So just about 1% more critical damage than Scarlet. They're very similar, guys. Very, very close. I made sure to level out the playing field, make these characters as even as I could. Let's put her back over there. Now for the rest of the build. Both of these characters, all their skills are at 6. Both of these characters have Power of Angry Hawk fully awakened. We'll take a look at Psylock here. Her Ice Away set is fully awakened. That's right, guys. I bumped her up big time. And of course, we don't have an obelisk. And her uniform is at Mythic. And Scarlet's uniform also is at Mythic. So their energy attack is virtually the same. Scarlet just has about 200 energy attack more than Psylock without Scarlet having her leadership, and virtually everything else is exactly the same for the most part, guys. This is about as fair as you can get. We took the RNG out with the damage proc, and something that I should know, when you're facing Cull, supposedly Now, I don't know if this is true. This is what I've heard. This is what people have speculated. But I don't think anyone really knows this 100% for sure. But supposedly, Cull maybe has some kind of elemental resistance. Now, I don't know that to be true. And I don't know anyone else that knows that to be 100% true. People have speculated. I speculate as well. That could be the case, and if that is the case, Scarlet does have a little bit of an advantage because she has just regular energy attack on her 5 and regular energy attack on her 2. But Scarlet's 3, 4, and 5 are really her main damage dealing skills. Another thing about Scarlet is she has all defense down. All defense down on her 4 and her 3 skill, which is amazing, guys. Whereas Psylock has just, and Scarlet has this too, but Psylock has mind resistance down. Wait a minute. There we go. Mind resistance down. Now, so if Cull does have some kind of elemental resistance, Psylock's passive won't help her as much as Scarlet's because Scarlet will have all defense down. So she's decreasing all of Cull's defenses. So that's another reason we're going to go against Thanos, because we know for sure that there is no elemental resistance against Thanos. So everything's going to come play. Now, something else about Psylock versus Scarlet here is Psylock actually has, well, let me find it. Psylock, here it is. Psylock actually has a crit rate buff by 20%. So Psylock actually will have a little bit more crit rate than Scarlet at times. Another thing to keep in mind is that Scarlet, because she has mind control for 10 seconds, guys, she will, and it says 5 seconds, but it's actually 10 seconds. She keeps the world boss locked down, and because she has 3 skills that do damage, she does constant damage throughout the entire fight. Whereas Psylock, you got to charge up her 3 a little bit, get the attack buff, get the crit rate buff, then go into your mind resistance down skills, 4, 5. Yeah. So I just want to get that all out of the way. So guys, let's get into the actual comparisons and let's rock and roll. Okay guys, so for the first run, we're going to use Scarlet with her leadership. So she's getting that extra 45% energy attack. And we're just going to run through the skills, tear old Black Dwarf up. We're going to run this for 1 minute. And I'm doing 1 minute for Cull because, we're doing, quite a, 6 different runs here. And I don't want this video to be freaking forever long. But you guys will definitely get the drift of who's stronger and who's doing more damage. And, this is the thing about Scarlet, guys. Even though Cull debuffs her mind control and only lasts about 4.5 seconds, she can still keep them locked down to where she does constant damage. If you watch her, she's just dealing damage the whole time. Whether it's from the 5, whether it's from the 4, whether it's from the 3, she's just dealing damage the entire time. And it's pretty insane, actually, that she's doing stage 20 and she's just got Nick Fury's attack buff. And we're not using any strikers, guys, because that would skew the damage. We don't want that. We want to take as much RNG out of this as possible. So we're about down to that minute mark. Here we go. We're going to pause that sucker and see where we're at. Okay, guys, so with her 45% energy attack bump, she was midway through bar 7. So now let's do a run with her without her leadership. Okay, so now she doesn't have her leadership, and we're going to see what she does. Now after 1 minute, she was mid-bar on bar 7 with her leadership. So let's see what she does without it. And I thought it would be best, guys, to really show Scarlet with her leadership and without, especially for the people that are real big Psylock fans. That way they can see, like, hey, if Scarlet's energy attack is the same as hers, then Psylock is definitely stronger. But you should definitely show that Scarlet, you should use her leadership when you're doing any kind of damage comparison, because it is a part of her kit. It is a part of who she is and what she is. So it's only fair to show that. And that's why I'm kind of doing, 2 runs for Scarlet to showcase that. And even without her leadership, guys, she's still freaking melting us like it's nothing. It really is insane how strong these girls are, man. It really is. They are nuts. And I gotta tell you guys, Psylock really surprised me. She really did, guys. I think I undervalued her just a little bit. Just a little bit. I always knew she was freaking powerful though. Now we're about down to the minute mark here. Okay. So she's down to, so with her leadership, she did about an extra bar and a half with her leadership. So now let's run Psylock. Okay, so now we got Psylock here. And remember, her energy attack is the same as Scarlet without Scarlet having that leadership. So let's get it done. And we're going to start with that 3 to try to get them attack buffs. Hit the 2-4 for the mine resistance down. And then hit the 5. And guys, you can see that, man. Psylock is pretty damn insane. She has got some serious power. I mean, both these girls are ridiculous. And I thought that it was only fair to compare these two. I mean, they get compared all the time. I see people in the comments, they'll say Psylocke stronger, they'll say Scarlet stronger. The truth is, it's circumstantial, I think. You know, I think there's situations where Psylocke's definitely going to be stronger, and I think there's situations where Scarlet's going to definitely be stronger. Now, I don't think there's any question that Scarlet is a better striker. I don't think there's any question that she's an overall better character. But as far as pure, raw DPS, I don't know, guys. I don't know. You know, you be the judge of who you think's stronger after watching this. I mean, look at this, guys. She is down to mid-bar of 7, and that's what Scarlet did with her leadership. So, yeah, guys, you could easily, and plus, Psylocke doesn't do constant damage, so you could easily make the argument that Psylocke is stronger. So let's go against Thanos. Okay, so now we're going to use Scarlet, and she's going to be having her leadership, that extra 45% energy attack. And yeah, we're going to be doing stage 15 here, guys. We're going to run this through the first 2 phases, so a little bit longer in Cull. We know for sure there's no elemental resistance here. So this can really show off, absolutely for sure, who has more DPS. Who is the stronger of the two? And I actually, guys, I was really curious about this myself, you know, because I really didn't know. I mean, I assumed it would be Scarlet, but not by much. And that's kind of where I was before. But I got to tell you guys, after doing this comparisons, I'm thinking I might change my view. I think I'm going to change my view on that. And you're going to see why. I mean, you guys just saw how Psylocke actually did what Scarlet did with Scarlet having her leadership. So when Psylocke has the same amount of energy attack as Scarlet, she's going to beat Scarlet easily. That is pretty insane, guys. That is pretty insane. And Scarlet can even crowd control the entire time and lock him down and do constant damage. There's nothing the world boss can do to get away from her. I mean, yeah, guys. I mean, look at this. I mean, she just keeps him there. She just does all this damage, you know. Having 3 skills that do damage like this, pretty insane. Pretty insane. So let's see how long this took. Okay, so about 1 minute and 19 seconds for Scarlet with her leadership. So let's see what she does without her leadership. So now Scarlet doesn't have her leadership, guys. She's going to have the same amount of energy attack as Psylocke in this run. And we did that last one with her leadership in 1 minute and 19 seconds. So let's see how long this takes. And it does make a big difference having that extra energy attack, guys. I think it's really going to depend on your perspective and how you look at things and how you look at things in the game. Whether or not you think Scarlet's stronger or whether or not you think Psylocke's stronger. They're both amazing. That's really the bottom line. They're both amazing. Although I do think Scarlet's definitely the better overall character. Easily. Easily, guys. And if you guys are wondering, I'm moving around quite a bit with Scarlet while she's doing that channeling skill. Because sometimes some meteors can drop on your head or the electricity blob can drop down and kill you. When you're moving around, that doesn't really happen. Just a little tidbit for you. Alright. Getting it done, man. Piece of cake. Man, it's so easy with her. Now, in the last couple phases, it wouldn't be that way. You know, Thanos debuffs you, so you can't mind control them in the last 2 phases. But since most of the world bosses you can mind control, that's why we're incorporating that in this comparison. There we go. So remember, a minute 19 seconds with her leadership. Oh man, this girl takes him down. Freaking nuts. Alright, let's see what we get here. Ooh. So a minute 19 with her leadership and a minute 28. A minute and 28 seconds without her leadership. So if Psylock can beat this, then with her energy attack the same, then you know Psylock's definitely stronger. So we'll see, guys. Minute and 28 seconds. So let's check out Psylock. Alright guys, so let's see if Psylock can compete, which I'm pretty sure she can. Now keep in mind guys, if I didn't have Nick Fury and Psylock didn't have that super armor, this would look quite a bit different. Because she would be getting guard broken, she wouldn't do near the damage. But again, we just want to test her DPS. Man, a girl's freaking got some power though guys, like seriously. This is some power. Wow. And it was worth it, honestly, to get her all leveled up. She's an amazing character, and I'm happy that I got her uniform to Mythic. I'm happy to fully awaken her Ice Away set because she really is awesome. And I think I might do some other videos with her now that I got her ranked up pretty high. Or not ranked up high, but got her built up a whole lot better than before. If you guys would like to see videos with her, let me know. I'd be happy to do it, man. Psylocke's amazing. Alright, let's run down here. Watch out for this crap. Watch out, watch out. And I don't want to use the attack buff either from Nick Fury. Like I said, guys, I want to keep this as even as I can. And now, see, now right there, this is something about Scarlet that's a huge advantage. Scarlet, because she can mind control guys, she keeps them locked down, can do constant damage. Right there, you see Thanos, he went to an iframe, and that actually cost Psylocke a whole lot of damage. That cost her a lot of damage. And yet, look at the time. Now look at this. Look at the time that she did this in, even though Thanos went an iframe. She did this in a minute and 27 seconds, even though Thanos went into an iframe, guys. Yeah. So if he wouldn't have went in that iframe, she would have done what Scarlet did with her energy attack leadership, having her leadership. So pretty insane. So let's talk about all this. So all in all, guys, I think we all can agree that both of these girls are absolutely amazing, totally awesome. As far as raw DPS, as far as just overall damage, power, I do give a slight edge to Psylocke, guys. A slight edge. Now, that's just my opinion coming from my perspective. And my perspective is Scarlet can mind control the whole time. She does constant damage the entire time. Whereas Psylocke, even with Scarlet having her energy attack leadership, Psylocke did pretty much the same amount of damage against Cull that Scarlet did. And she would have done the same amount of damage against Thanos that Scarlet did, having her leadership, guys. So, and Psylocke doesn't do constant damage. You know, you have all these pauses where you're charging up to 3, you're going through her 2-4. I mean, she doesn't do constant damage like Scarlet. So, in my opinion, as far as raw damage, I do believe Psylocke has the edge. Now, it's not by a whole lot, but when you're talking about overall damage over a consistent period of time, then it's pretty even. I do give a bit of an edge to Scarlet because she can mind control the whole time, she can crowd control the whole time, and she can just do constant damage the entire time, guys. And that's something to always think about, you know. But as far as raw damage, I give the edge to Psylocke. So they both have their strengths and they both have a little bit of weakness, you know. I do think Scarlet's a little bit weaker as far as DPS, but I do think that because she has that mind control, she can do more overall damage over a period of time. But not by a whole lot, man. Not by much. I mean, they're so close, it's not even funny. So guys, let me know what you think about this comparison, if you thought I was fair or not, and if you'd like to see other comparisons like this. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.